1, 2,
3.
Welcome to Silicon Valley Impact, where business insight meets startup innovation. Brought to you live from sunny Silicon Valley, California. Please give a warm welcome to your host, Brian Sparks.
All right, I could just sit and take that in, Brian. You're just amazing. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
So,
You're
Brian,
back. Yeah.
I'm back. We're back again.
We're back again.
Yeah.
You've been really living your best life this summer. I mean, you've been all over the world.
I said yes to 3 vacations this summer, months and months and months ago. And then when you're trying to get out of town, you're like, why did I do this to myself? But then when you're there, you're like, yes.
This is why.
This is why.
So all of you homebodies, take Brian's lead. Just get out, break away from the routine, and reconnect.
It's hard to do. It is hard to do, but it is well worth it.
Yeah.
And so I was up north in Canada doing some canoe camping, right? Canoeing and portaging, for anybody who knows what that is. Portaging is basically going over land masses to get to another body of water, carrying a canoe on your shoulders. And this is hard to do. And I as I was out there many times, Brian, and I won't go into it in great depth, but many times, I was thinking, this is a great analogy for many of the things that we talk about on Silicon Valley Impact.
Ooh.
It is difficult to do. Most people can't or won't because it's difficult and painful.
Yeah.
There are moments where you have to remain steady and just do the work.
Lock in. Yeah.
Every stroke, you have to course correct just a little bit. Every stroke, you have to course correct a little bit once you know the technique of how to paddle a canoe.
Yeah.
But then there are also times where you don't know where you are, and you have to stop and look at the map, regroup, figure out which way you're going, and then head in that direction. And there are, again, course corrections all along the way, stops where you have to get out of the canoe, portage your canoe over land, get into the water again in a brand new lake. And I kept thinking over and over again, these are all great analogies for the people that we talk to on this show.
Yeah.
And, this is Silicon Valley Impact.
You just gotta keep rowing. Yeah, you just gotta keep rowing.
Sometimes, and you don't row in a canoe, you paddle. I that's something I had to learn.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Sometimes you got to keep paddling. Sometimes you don't, man. Sometimes you got to stop and take a break and look around. That was the last thing that we had an instructor. We did a clinic, and the last thing he said was, "Don't forget to look around."
I love it.
Yeah,
enjoy the ride.
And enjoy the ride because it's gorgeous everywhere you go, and that includes here in Silicon Valley and in California and in the world. So that's my advice to everybody.
The more you know. I love it.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? What were you up to while I was gone?
I took a few naps. No, we've been
Ordered a pizza, slept on the sofa, wiped the drool off my face, and then went to bed. Yeah, good for you, man. That sounds
living
great.
in a box. Yeah, I got to get out more. Brian, well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you had a good time. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Brian.
Definitely back in the rhythm with great guests. We've been really rolling this summer, Brian, despite the fact that the venture season is down during the summer.
We've had kind of sleepy out there, right?
We've had some great guests, and so today is no exception. But first, before we get to our guests, I want to welcome everyone to Silicon Valley Impact. I'm your host, Brian Sparks. That, with the great stories and the new perspective on life, is Brian Bernasconi. The purpose of this show is to have honest conversations about what it takes to build great businesses and communities so that you can make an impact within your own. I love it. All right, so jumping into today's guests, we have BD and Dileep. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It's definitely great to be here and be giving something back to the listeners as well.
I appreciate it. You guys are just a wheelhouse of information, so I definitely want to get into it. But for those of you who don't know you, please give our audience your name and a quick intro on who you are. And Dileep, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Hey everyone. My name is Dileep Dhakal. I'm the founder and CEO of Veel. I've been doing Veel for the last 2.5 years. We've been having some great momentum going. Veel is a video reel. For those who do not know what is this branding and name is coming from, so it's video reel. Stands for Veel.
Yeah.
It's a Dutch word. So I researched later on. I
You
didn't
said it's
know
a
about
Dutch
it.
word?
Yeah, it's a Dutch word.
Okay.
The meaning is much more, which goes with what we do at Veel, I guess.
All right.
So it kind of makes sense. So yeah, great to be here and talk about Veel and our journey.
Well, we're going to talk all about it because you're already clearly a great brander. You brought us a swag bag. We'll unpack the swag bag. I also want to say hi to CS. You're in the back. See you back there. So sitting right next to Brian. You can see him on the screen.
Oh yeah, here.
Glad you can make it out. But we're going to talk all about what you're building at Veel and why it's unique and kind of changing the game of social media and editing and going to market. Love what you guys are doing. BD.
Yeah, no, thanks for the opportunity. My full name is B Dweik. It's pretty long, so we shorten it to BD for short. The journey started just like anybody else in Silicon Valley as an engineer, chip designer by trade, to be specific. And that really just helped me understand how to build systems engineering. Later on, I started applying that into money and investing, and then from there, try to scale it into more advanced investing, especially in alternatives and startups and everything else, including real estate. But in 2022, we actually started our fractional family office, and that's Bluestone Flagship investors. And the reason we do that is because we like to work with other successful families that were an entrepreneur in terms of due diligencing companies, due diligence deals, as well as deploying our capital together as a group to try to achieve a higher return and have a big impact.
I love it. And I know what my audience is thinking right now. Brian, get them out to Opal, and make no mistake about it, I've already tried to convince them to get out there, so we'll be working on that. So definitely, I've never heard of this term, fractional family office. Is this new? Is this something kind of a niche thing? Have I just missed what this is? Tell me a little bit what that means, is fractional family office.
Sure. I mean, the best way to kind of describe it is just go to the basis of what a single family office is. When a person gets in terms of wealth of like 100 million or so, they set up around them all the experts. They bring around them all the experts to help them to investing. If you're typically over 2 million in net worth, a traditional financial advisor isn't capable, or a wealth advisor isn't capable enough to kind of advise you on the type of things you want to do in your investing. So there's a really gap there to kind of go between a family office. So you still need the advice, you still need the estate planning, you still need the tax planning and the structure. So you really need to have all the experts around you. When me and 5 other startup founders exited tech, we were looking for all these things, and then we decided to actually set up our fractional family office where we can actually vet things in parallel, and then share the different services that we need in order to do our own estate planning or do our own incentives. So in some sense, it's mainly focused on the investment side, but each family actually end up doing their own structuring as far as their estate planning and everything else.
Okay, I feel like this is kind of a new push towards an alternative way of investing. So I'm very interested in it. We kind of geeked out a little bit yesterday when we were on the phone, but maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it. Definitely want to bounce around, because one of the biggest questions I love to ask my guests and also startups, about what they're passionate about. But before we do that, Brian,
well, I know you're going to get into this, and
Okay.
sometimes we skip over, and I've got Veel here on the screen. And before we get into the why and the how and the who, can we just let Dileep let us know exactly what? Because I got the website here on the screen for those of you who are watching on YouTube, and already I think, this is complex. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I'd like to know, briefly in a summary, who's this for? What does it do? And then some of that more complexity, if we can.
Absolutely. So we're building a platform. This is absolutely a marketing platform. It's a product for B2B, B2C, and primarily focusing in terms of user-generated video content. So in today's world, video content, especially UGC video content, is the biggest format of marketing. I think it's known. Everybody probably know by now.
Right.
If not, that's what it is. Everybody talks about conversion, metrics, sales. Ultimately, it's all about tiding towards the revenues, right? So UGC video converts in terms of advertisements better conversions, in terms of sales, better conversions, and even in terms of like the generation where it's heading towards is more short form content. And those short form content can be utilized as a marketing weapons.
So the short form content is really kind of what you're seeing is the biggest wave to get to your customers.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To get you a customers, because people do not have, or especially consumer do not have patience to kind of go and watch like 3, 4, 10 minutes video about the product. They want to get the idea within 3 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's true.
And also UGC video provide that authenticity, which is like real customers, real users talking about the product.
And when you say you're saying UCV, it's user content.
UGC, user generated content.
Okay. UGC.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what Veel does is we have a B2C platform from the consumer perspective, which I call or industry call the content creators, influencers, and that's the biggest marketing drivers right now for any company, especially D2C world. And those content creators have tools, and we believe content creation right now is a full-time job, not hobbies anymore. We can pick up some examples of the great content creators, how they've been living life, making finance and so on, and the biggest thing, creating community impact, right? So they've been doing amazing. So for those content creators, there is not a single platform how the entire industry operate. For example, they need to go in a platform to edit the video content. They need to go other platform to grab the monetizations, so that way it hits their bank accounts, because we're talking about the full-time job now, not talking about like, hey, this is my hobby, I might get like 100K paycheck next year. That's not the story we're talking about anymore.
Right. So let me just kind of sum just because for the sake of consolidation for our audience. So what you're saying is that this is a platform that pretty much has every tool necessary to deploy short form videos, and everything that is usually off platform is native to the platform.
Absolutely.
So you can upload information, edit information, build community, collaborate. In fact, I think you were sharing with me the other day, and I'm honest, Yushesh, I'm pointing to you, is that you can have these collaborations, which are very, very unique and an exponential way of growing community.
Absolutely. And there are like public community campaigns as well. So there are a lot of different types of video content campaign they can actually create and monetize. And the biggest thing for the content creator, not just that, we have recently launched a few weeks back the affiliate marketing weapons. What does that mean is now all the affiliate link that creators are using to monetize across the platform can be embedded within the Veel App itself too.
Now let me double click on that for our audience. And of course, BD, I want you to chime in this because you're in education, and I want to bounce around on this. What is happening here is not only you're building everything you need on one platform, curating your community, editing, you're now saying that you can deploy to other websites. So this is like your command center, your central hub. And BD, you were before the show, you were talking about how social media is a huge time suck for you because you have got into education. Do you find that this would be useful for you as well in terms of deploying?
Yeah, I mean, just listening about the product, it's definitely solving a problem for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I was never necessarily a content creator to really understand what entails to that, but I understand they have to use multiple systems and they have to move content across systems, and whether it's the creation of it, the editing of it, or monetization of it, completely different platforms. So it does make sense to have it all in one.
Yeah.
That's definitely, I see the value in that.
And the connectivity to others I think is huge.
Yeah. And the other part is, if you think about how the way Uber finds a driver, right? It's a good example I think I've been giving to folks around. For the marketing persons, if you're brand partnership persons or social media strategists or influencer marketing managers or even CMO in some degrees, you need a platform today. I think the platform they're using are project management tools, not necessarily video platforms to centralize in terms of creating the campaign, receiving the video from the content creators, handling licensing in terms of the content itself, also music licensing as well. Sometimes what happens is we can pull up some examples. Maybe let's pull example from Marriott Hotel. They, I think last year or recently paid 140 millions in terms of lawsuit happens because of the musical licensing was not there in the content that they have utilized.
Right.
So we also handle that as well. So that means...
So it's a lot of tools on top of tools. So I just wanted to get kind of a summary. Brian was asking just real quick, because we got the whole time to unpack it, and I don't want to give it all to our audience right now. But what I'm hearing, again, is this unique selling proposition that not only can the individual user do all things from this control center, edit and deploy, create community, but they can have their team work on projects with them, and I love that. So we're going to unpack that a little bit more as we go along for the next half hour, because there's a lot of ground to cover.
Absolutely.
But BD, both of you, BD, I'm going to ask you first. One thing I love to ask all our guests is why you love doing what you're doing. And clearly, as you're describing your product, you could hear the love coming out. But BD, you've kind of got into this by way of you were an engineer. You slowly grew over years. But why is it that you do the things you do now? What is it that you love so much about it?
Yeah, absolutely. This will take quite a bit, but I'm going to try to compress it as much as I can. I think for me, part of the journey of being an engineer and learning, I realized actually there's so much you can do as an individual. At some point, there's amazing founders out there that you can actually find the right purpose that they're after and the right product and participate with their success.
Right.
So that's really where investing into startup goes in.
Yeah.
But it goes slightly beyond that. At the end of the day, you start thinking about investing as one investment at a time. Later on, you have a collection of investments, but at the end of the day, you're not really thinking about it from a holistic standpoint. That's really kind of when we build engineering wealth, to really teach, probably engineers is best. Hey, what does it take to build wealth? Making money is one thing. Earning income is one thing. Building wealth is a whole different thing. So what are the different pieces and recipes that you need to really build your wealth? Where you become job optional, where you can get to choose to spend time with your family. And that's really was the basis. I love the aspects, what he's bringing in with the video, because lately for a lot of the engineering wealth, we had to prepare a lot of classes for the engineers, basically how to teach them about wealth. And we had to jump into different systems. So the fact that he's telling me, hey, you can do it all in one system in terms of content generation, because we're literally using about 4 or 5 different software and moving between them, and it's quite painful. So I definitely feel like he's got the finger on the pulse in terms of how to solve a problem in terms of centralizing everything as far as. But for us, the key purpose when we're trying to teach principles of investing is we were not taught this as kids. And you go in and you learn math and you learn various different things, but you don't really get to learn some of the key principles. And beyond the engineered wealth, that's really where we started the passion of actually teaching youth. I said, why are we not teaching youth about financial literacy? Why are we not teaching kids about investing? Why are we not teaching them about compounding and so forth? For me, it's definitely an avenue where I think even doing more stuff around video and being able to do that video content, a lot of people that have experiences can really generate significant amount of content and actually help the children downstream to teach them these things early on.
I can't tell you how many people I've had this conversation with who are doing financial planning or wealth planning or so I'm curious, BD, why aren't we teaching kids this stuff? Why isn't this part of the high school curriculum? I mean, because I've been working in finance for decades. And we've been talking about this for decades, and still there is no education for kids on how to open a bank account or do any of the most basic financial literacy kinds of things. So what's your answer?
Well, we cannot control what's being taught in school and curriculums and what type of generation they're trying to raise in those schools. That being said, there's all the extracurriculars that we can put our kids into. When I actually started this whole financial curriculum thing for kids, it was really started by me wanting to teach my kids. I came in later in life and learned a lot of those things. I was just an engineer, head down designing chips. Later on, I realized that when you start, selling a startup or coming into money, you actually have to learn about money. And I was like, hey, I don't want my kids to grow illiterate about money. And I actually took the intention of doing that. and then started putting them into after school activities. Later on, when I actually exited tech and I became job optional, that's when I started putting in a little bit more emphasis. I was like, how could I take this and broadcast it a little bit further? So that's something very passionate about, not just in the Bay Area, but like in the Bay Area, we taught about financial literacy through Guru's education of 112 locations. And I found out that most
how
of
many
the
locations?
112 different locations. Most of the areas that subscribed were Menlo Park, Palo Alto, Hillsborough, but we were trying to see, hey, how come Oakland is not being subscribed? How come East Palo Alto?
Where's San Jose? Yeah.
Exactly, in San Jose. And that's where we started trying to find families that can't afford to put their kids in these programs and say how to make it available for them. So I think having a content video platform is phenomenal, because for our standpoint, even though we teach in person, we actually do online as well. We can reach a much broader audience online.
Yeah, this is what I like about BD and learning this about you. Hearing it again today after talking with you yesterday, and both our guests, is I feel that what really drives you is giving people access. And
Absolutely.
I mean, whether you're talking about educating people on how to look at finance or building wealth, but you also have all these other side businesses, right, that empower other people, and you're constantly bringing others in, from the fractional family office to revitalizing homes. You're in the real estate space as well. You're constantly bringing value, and I feel when you ask the question why you do what you do, you find these character qualities in the greats, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm passionate about giving people access. So I got to flip this question to you, Dileep, as well. It's like, you've built this company that's really going to provide people a tremendous advantage in the market, giving them, a go-to-market tool that is going to give them connection to more people. But what has driven you to build this company and kind of play in this space? What do you love about what you're doing?
I love building product. I think that's what I've been doing for the last 12, 15 years. I was at Apple, I was at Walmart, various other startups. What I like doing is finding the innovative opportunities. And even like sometimes your product can solve small fractions of problem. It doesn't have to solve like massively big fancy things, right? I love finding those problems and creating in a way it makes sense for the customers.
Yeah, solving the issue. I love that.
Fundamental.
Yeah.
That's fundamental. Do I need to cut away for you, Brian? Oh.
Yeah, I think there's someone knocking at the door.
Oh, really? Are we there already? I'm so leaned into the. I'm so leaned in, but I'm not even ready. But I know who we want to talk about.
I do too.
Do you?
I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for this, because you've been gone and I've been wanting to hear what the ad fairy has to say.
All right, so we're going to talk about talent.
We're
going to talk about talent, and we're going to talk about competitive advantage. All right. I mean, problem solving we just talked about, right? Yeah. And one of the biggest problems that we all have to solve as business people and as entrepreneurs and founders is finding the right talent and building the right team. And one of the best resources for doing so, Brian, is who? Who is it?
Moralis HR.
Moralis HR is a human-centered recruiting and executive search firm. I'm going to say it again. Human-centered recruiting and executive search firm built for today's business demands. They deliver high-quality, curated talent. When, Brian? When it matters most.
Yes. I was stumped.
Right? Yeah. Within your own, Brian.
Yeah, within your
I want you to go to moraleshr.com. Moraleshr.com. If you're frustrated by low-quality candidates, or you're worried about the rise of fake resumes or fake candidates, go to moraleshr.com. There are human beings there who are experts at finding you the talent that you need right now. All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Was I shouting, Brian? I get so excited about
your excitability.
Shelley excites me. Moralis HR excites me. All this stuff. I get too excited.
Just to double down, actually, on the human capital. Whenever we look at a founder or an investor, a company to invest in, the management team, the team is the most important aspect.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not the next shiny object where there's this, AI that. It's really about, hey, what's the business plan? Who's the team behind that business plan?
Yeah.
And do they have what it takes to actually go execute it?
And this is something we hear every week. Would you agree, Brian?
Oh, absolutely.
Every week, I just heard a jobs report that young people coming out of university are having trouble getting their first entry-level positions, and they're blaming AI. But every week here on Silicon Valley Impact, we hear people saying that human beings are the key to success.
Yeah,
human beings, not AI.
Yeah.
So anyway, just reiterating.
Yeah, and I really think, I think both of you are really kind of waving the flag on this relationship piece. And social media, effective social media really does that. The more we get into these tools, the more advanced we get, the more is going to be required of the relationship. It's like the playing field is going to level out. It's much like a website. It's like you have to have a website now. Yeah. But there was a time where not everyone did. But it's what it's really come back to is, again, do you trust the person that you're doing business with? So whether you're an investor or you're somebody who's going to market, having those relationships are huge.
Yeah, I want to touch on these particular points. At Veel, every content right now, one of the biggest thing is this content generated by an AI tool or somebody who is human being, right? It's a debatable thing right now, and as technology advances, it's becoming harder and harder. And what we did last couple of quarter, it took us like 3.5 quarters to kind of execute that, is now when we upload video contents through our platforms, we actually verify whether this content is authentic or not.
Ooh.
Wow.
Go on, tell us more.
Yeah, so this helps.
Everyone just turned up the radio.
But I mean, so I don't want to like poo-poo that. But what if I'm a content creator using video that's generated by AI in order to get my message across? I mean, that doesn't necessarily lessen the impact of my message, does it? I mean,
it doesn't. But I'm really targeting, as I mentioned earlier, I'm focusing on absolutely D2C, e-commerce, consumer brand. And that's my primary niche, okay? We can use these use cases in various different industries and whatnot, but I'm more focused in terms of D2C e-commerce. For a consumer brand, if an AI model is telling, hey, I used your sunscreen product and I loved it, how would you take it as a consumer? Or let's say, hey, I'm wearing these sunglasses and it fits absolutely the way I want it, right? If the AI model is portraying the product, then the value of the customer trust will be absolutely drop down, right? So that's where I want to kind of focus more and provide the tools for the consumer brand, so that way when they get these content actually were curated and created by a human being rather than AI tools.
So do I have to stop using the filters that has me with hair? I'm gonna be outed. I'm gonna be outed. Like, Brian, no, nice try. That mohawk isn't yours.
I think the key there, Brian, would be consistency.
Absolutely. Also, if that content is for the phone or even like social messaging that you're trying to communicate to a community, that's absolutely fine. You're right on. But you cannot say, hey, I love this hair shampoo wearing those hairs, right?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So does it completely just like what's the spectrum on that?
Yeah.
Does it completely block it from going up if it's, disingenuous?
No.
Or does it kind of give it a score?
Great. It gives a score. So we analyze every video layers and we process through LLM. So that way we give the authenticity test on every aspect: voice, music, the content deliveries, and all of these things we scan through layer by layer and provide this scoring in terms of, okay, your video is 7 out of 10 authenticity.
And does that go out to the community? Is that kind of like expose them, or is it like, no, that's just
something on the back end on the
back end
metadata
something in the back end. So we don't want to say like, hey, this video is like 4 by 10 authentic video.
Yeah. I mean, Veel says your video is crap.
Yeah, we play. It's funny. This is funny, and this is the analogy I give. We were out dinner with some friends the other day, and someone wanted to play a table game. They said, hey, everyone pull up your Uber app.
Yeah.
And tell us now your rider score.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh yeah. We all had stories. We were just,
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my writer score would be on that game, Brian?
What's your?
I don't even have the Uber app on my phone.
Oh, you couldn't play.
Yeah, I mean, that shows you how my score. No.
I mean, we had the founder of Lyft in here.
I don't know why, but I know. Well, so what? I'm supposed to use his service because he was on the show? Probably not a bad idea. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Okay, yeah. Well, sometimes you can't play.
How was your score? I want to know how yours was.
Oh, I have a 4.98.
Oh, good. So they're all.
I think I'm pretty close.
Yeah, I have a good score. Yeah, Brian, I'm not. I'm not.
But here's the thing.
I think you're a courteous and generous individual. I think that you probably walk around in life conducting yourself pretty well.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for you, Brian, and I love you. And I'm not afraid to say that.
I just don't go home and kick the cat, Brian. I am consistent.
The cat gave you a score of 1.2.
But if your score is low, you don't have to delete the app, right?
Yeah. Well, fun. All right, so this is a lot of fun. Well, I'm glad you're building this. BD,
It's a pretty robust website, by the way.
Yeah,
I showed it just very briefly, but it's a pretty robust website. So there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit about more tools. We're also going to. I think you and I talked about this a little bit about possibly doing a workshop on the tool because I think it's actually phenomenal. I've been kind of going through it the last week. When I first learned about it. Go ahead, Brian.
I want you to sign me up for that workshop, please. Can you write my name down now?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Hold on.
Thank you. Perfect.
How do you spell your first name?
With an I.
Okay. All right, BD, you were talking a little bit about one of the things that investors look for is the team. You've looked at a lot of great companies over the last few years, and a lot of our audience are founders, and they're always asking, what does fundability look like? And so we're just going to, just play basics here. When you're looking at a startup and they're building a great product, like Dileep is doing at Veel, what do you look for?
Sure. The first thing is we want to make sure that whatever you're building, the product, the service, is solving a real problem. So don't try to solve a problem that the world does not care much about.
Right.
So solve a real problem. Go find a big problem, solve the problem. Then after that, make sure that it's hard to displace you. You're very sticky with the problem. Have you ever tried to change your CPA? Very painful. Right, a lot of paperwork and all that. So it's sticky. They have you. We don't want to say by what. The whole point is just make sure your product is truly solving the problem, and it's very, very sticky. Then, like I said, the team is very critical. Do they have what it takes? And if not, it's okay. Do they recognize the gaps they have? And believe it or not, actually, one of the software that we've been running a lot of founders in is called HumanOp, that actually analyze not just the personalities, but are these people authentically in the right role? Is the CEO truly an operational guy? Or he's just serving that right now?
Oh, so wait a minute. So you evaluate, you have a tool that evaluates the team.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
It's quite phenomenal. It started by me actually learning about myself using this tool called HumanOp. And I can introduce you to the CEO one day. Phenomenal company. But then we're like, wow, we can actually have our founders take this test, and then now we can start to analyze, are they authentically doing the things that's actually in their wheelhouse, or they're just, hey, I'm a COO, I'm also a VP of engineering, but where do you get your passion in? Managing operations or actually making sure stuff gets done.
And so what are some of the things that are flagged for somebody who's in the right place? Like, here is what will really jack your score up through the roof, makes you look good. Is it just experience? Is it just an area of expertise? Obviously you want that. Obviously if you're building in area A, you don't want to see them building in Z, right? So, but other than that, what are some qualities that are flagged?
So I would focus more about what are the key three things we would look for. Who's the visionary? Who's got the visionary that can actually go sell the product into the market? The second thing is who in the team is the person that can run operation, make sure people are hired and paid, and finances is working and everything else. And the third one is the CTO person, or the person is going to make the sausage, basically. Make sure that the product is working and you have the right, beta releases and everything else is going. So we start with who are the three key people in this company, and are they seated into the right role? And then does that lean into their own personality? So if we can find the right people, sometimes we feel like, hey, maybe we need to shift. We suggest to them, hey, maybe you should consider doing this, and we can bring you a fractional COO doing that, because you're really doing something that's not in your wheelhouse. And that often actually results into low energy. Well, a lot of people don't really know. If you're doing something in your wheelhouse, you have infinite amount of energy.
Right.
If you try to do something outside what you like to do, all of a sudden it becomes like a burden. Like, oh, I have to balance my checkbook. Oh, I have to, do the bills or whatever it is. You'll be surprised. So making sure people are authentically doing the things that they're supposed to do within their wheelhouse. And at the end of the day, it's not the individual, it's the team.
Yeah.
How well the team jives together.
How well
Super
they play
critical.
together, yeah.
Super critical.
Yeah. Okay. So you look at the team. Now, do you look for traction? Obviously, you want to see sales, but do you work for Brian? You've got someone.
I came in here with a little caffeine.
Yeah.
in me,
You're
so.
like, oh.
Yeah.
The excited kid in the class got a question.
I'm now not sure what you do. I'm not sure what the service is. Like, you're telling me you do these things, but what is this? Did I miss that?
No. So what I asked him is, what is fundable, and so we're talking about the team. So he's got a company. I'm assuming that you invested in or is on part of your team that evaluates.
I see. So when you're looking at companies that you're going to invest in, these are the qualities you're looking for.
Through this.
I thought maybe you were doing consulting work to help companies be able to answer these questions and refine the teams that they have.
Well, I think that would work for them.
I mean,
it sounds like you've got
They could do that independently. I don't have, honestly, the time.
Got it. I got confused, Brian.
It's definitely
I
a good
withdraw
job.
my question.
Okay, but maybe for like Morales HR, you never know. When you're looking for talent, though, but this is a measurable tool in order to kind of put this on a scale.
It's very measurable. The reason is a lot of the tools that we've seen out there is based on psychometry. This tool is actually based on physics. So it is quite unique, and they're actually out of Cupertino. It's been going on for the last 10 years. They used to be very custom VC-centric shop. They used to run these type of analysis for VC. But later on, they actually opened it up. You can actually download the app. You can get your own score. You can try to help you understand yourself better.
Interesting.
And have you lean into your area of interest.
Yeah.
It's just super cool. I'm happy to introduce you to the founder.
I'd love to know.
I go to their workshop constantly in the mode of I'm trying to work on myself. For example, one of my energy factors that give me energy is monetary discernment, which means when I talk about money or dealing anything with money, I get energy, which is naturally chip design engineer end up being a money guy, which is kind of interesting, but it was just naturally following the progression.
Yeah, it's the game you love to play. I love the game of chess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so if it's similar, right, where you can find where you love playing, and that's why I asked this question from both you guys, is if you love what you're doing, then obviously you're going to bring energy to the show. And I asked the question, it comes out, and I love that. But yeah, you're going to go further for the, and whether they're investors or they're startups looking to make collaborations, they can feel it. And to be, like you were saying, being around that makes the team that much better. Brian, did you have something like that?
I wanted to have you repeat the name of that the company that you just said.
Sure. It's called Human OP. Human OP.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Their app is available on the store as well. They're out of Cupertino, Stevens Creek, California. I go to their sessions. Like, they have a lot of open mic sessions where you can really, it's a community of people that actually download the app, understand more about themselves, and want to continue and learn the skills, how to continue to improve.
No association to
No.
Chase Hughes' Behavioral Ops, is it?
No.
Oh, God, that's a great book. Okay,
I was just going to put that up on the screen here because it sounds interesting.
Yeah, so those of you who are on the Apple or Spotify side, you can go over to the YouTube and check out what Brian has up. And while you're there, subscribe. Might want to do that.
Subscribe to Silicon Valley Impact, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. All right, so love it. So team, definitely measuring the team. Anything else in terms of fundability? There's there traction, big market, like the size of the market, or is it like, how do you look at that?
No, absolutely. There's the standard. Like I said, they're solving a problem that matters, and there's money to be had when you're solving that problem.
Yeah.
I'm typically not worried about money in the sense, money is a byproduct of success. If you can go and solve a real problem that is really needed, money is just going to be a byproduct of your success. Yeah. So money will come. But like, the key thing is find a problem that exists, and a lot of it exists. You want to call it SAM, service of available market? Yeah, sure. That's just the economic way of thinking about it. But at the end of the day, when you solve a problem, money will come.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Okay, when we come back, I have a ton more questions.
Oh.
Like that, Brian, trying to cue you.
Well,
You're still-
whatever. I'm listening to the conversation.
You're
I'm
still
interested.
rowing down
this sponsor
river.
stuff.
Oh, there.
It's important to me, but
As
not
we
as
row-
important as what's right in front of me.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
this music. Where is this music coming from?
That's the ad fairy.
the ad fairy.
Flying through the door
Come on, Dileep. Come on.
with messages of inspiration. And I want to share a message. I want to introduce everybody to Stack Ventures. Stack Ventures is transforming real estate into full stack ecosystem solutions for the East Bay residency and global startups. Backed by Baring Capital, located in the heart of uptown Oakland at 1900 Broadway and 1950 Franklin. Stackspace has 2 towers and a data. Well, no, we're not going to call it's an AI lab. An
It's
AI
not a
lab.
data center anymore.
No, well, it's not technically.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
it's a supercomputer
Ah.
looking to be, reactivated. Okay, there, we got to make sure we get that right.
All right, fair.
All right, with over 1.5, I guess they're looking at me, what are you talking about? All right, over 1.5 million square feet of luxury living, event space, resort-style amenities, EV mobility, office space, and access to one of the biggest startup ecosystems in the Bay Area. Check out stackspace.com. That's STAK, stackspace.com.
All right, and so we go.
There we go.
Away we go.
Here we go. Bye-bye. Out the door. Okay. All right. So you guys are creating a lot of different, ventures. Love what you're doing. Heard what kind of built up to it. What you're doing now. But what's next for you? So there's a lot of things on the horizon, but what's top of mind in terms of what's next for you? Dileep, I'll start with you.
Yeah, absolutely. We are at the growth stage right now. We're over 150 employees. I have operation team across various different locations, including South Africa. We recently started. We have a small operation team in Philippines. India, we have small operation team in Bangalore and Mumbai. And I have a big technological teams in Kathmandu, Nepal.
Okay.
So we're trying to go into the growth. As you mentioned, team is the key. So I'm trying to find different widget to kind of plugs in, so that way we have the foundation built in for the growth.
Mm-hmm.
And that also include teams, operational tools internally, and also even promoting ourselves more in terms of branding and advertisings, because so far our growth has been fully organic. We have not spent penny.
That's awesome. And that's the insight to skills and bootstrapping, which I love geeking out about. And I got to say, I've had a couple meetings with Siyesh, and he's crushing it. Every time I've seen him, he's talking about, I met this person, that person. I was over here, I was over there. So you got the right man on the job. Talk about teams. Siyesh, you've been flying around the Bay Area, been on the phone. I don't think his poor guy sleeps.
Yeah, that's the entire my team. I think everyone loves what they do, and I'm kind of fortunate enough to find and build that team across.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that I called out, hey, we have to live by profession, right?
Yeah. So so what are some insights about, because you've bootstrapped?
Yeah.
And I want one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if you're going to invest, I need to see. This is for me. We can talk about this. I want to see a startup take a pathway to bootstrap rather than look for immediate validation from VCs.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see them utilize their own knowledge. I want to see them utilize their own network, angel,
Mm-hmm.
and then if the feedback from the market, allows for a VC funding, then so be it. What insights or what strategies have you deployed to grow so rapidly, so quickly while bootstrapping?
Great question. I think one of the biggest thing, and looking back right now, that I'm super proud that I actually did by accident, or even that's my instance told me at that time,
Mm-hmm.
was if I'm solving problem for the content creator, I should speak to the content creators.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm solving problem for the marketings, brand partnerships, influencer marketing managers, social media strategists, CMOs, I need to speak to them as well, right?
Yeah.
So I created a pool through my LinkedIn and social media. Not a big pool, but I had 50 plus marketing people, 200 plus content creators that, I want to tap into these folks. I want to talk to them, and I want to see if they are using the tool that I'm talking about already, and what are the gaps.
Mm-hmm.
Or even for the CMOs, hey, if I build this tool, how much would you pay? And I was asking these random nonsense questions. Sometimes I was like getting slammed, hey, get out of here, right?
Yeah.
But most of the time I was kind of getting some sort of answer that actually helped me narrow down my product and priorities, where to build, especially B2B, B2C. I'm tackling both with integrated AI, right? That means 3 different types of resources that I need to be deployed across the companies to build the product first. Which one should go first? Which dot we should build first and connect later, right?
So you'd build based on the feedback. I mean, you were targeting certain conversations, questions, really kind of move the noise aside and found those and started pushing.
Absolutely. I was going on a couple of events. Even I made even one of the event too, right? So but I wouldn't spend too much time early that asking, hey, I'm building this product. What do you think to a VC or to an angel investor or to anybody? Because I think my first priority should be that, hey, whether I'm passionate about these industries or not. Second would be like, can I go and talk to them and ask the right questions? Ultimately, somebody who is giving check wouldn't give you that feedback, right?
So you spent more time, and I love this. I mean, it's usually the genius is in the simple approach. You spent 10x more time talking to customers than you did investors.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you the reason, right? So if I go on a LinkedIn or even like any cold emailing tool or VC network and whatnot, and if I throw 100 emails, how many people will respond? Probably 1 or 2, right? Likely. Versus if I do the same thing with the customers, maybe I'll get the 20 response back. I got the biggest is go and talk to the customer rather than go and talk to the VCs or investors. And at the early stage, these days, to be honest, you don't need big capital to build an MVP.
That's so true. I love that insight. So again, hear that, what was just shared. Again, I love asking the question, what does bootstrapping look like? If you're out chasing VCs, chasing money, you're not selling, you're not talking to the customer. You need to talk to, for every VC you talk to, you better talk to 100 customers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, one thing that Dileep said, which I'm quite actually learning more about you as you do that, he's doing the right thing in terms of figuring out his market fit. You don't need to go to a VC to tell you have a market fit or not have a market fit. You don't need the money from investor to do that. And that's kind of where we would look at the founders for him to be the expert. Now, he has an idea what the market needs, but without him going out and speaking to customers, he can't get validation. Without him going asking, how much are we willing to pay for something like this? He cannot put a true financial model that's going to be a representative of what his product likely to be. So he's doing all the right things that we would want to see. And that's why when we invest into a startup, you know, at an angel, pre-seed, seed level, we're looking for people that have that mentality that not wait, oh, give me money so I can replace my daily check from my job so I can go start the startup. He's got to have the drive inside him to go solve a big problem. We are there to help. We are there to be strategic capital, open up more doors, you know, help you get more meetings, help you visit more customers. These are the type of things we do when we invest in a startup. We're not going to be dumb capital in the capital stack. We want to be the enabling capital that's going to have them realize the vision that they have.
I love, so just kind of summarize what you've shared, BD, throughout the show is one, and of course I'm going to integrate what you were sharing, is one, the team, right? You have a team that works well together, passionate, and the other thing is you make crystal clear is that you're looking for a team that's solving a problem, not just has a good idea, right? They're solving a problem, a real problem, and that's moving the needle. The third thing is the strategy, this capacity to sell and communicate with your audience. And Dileep, you articulate that perfectly, and I want to highlight that for our audience. Those 3 moves right there: building the right team, knowing the right problem, not just having the best product. You just happen to have a great product, but you're solving a real problem. And then obviously now talking to more customers, 100x more customers than you are founded. I love that.
And I'll add one more thing. Okay, most of the time, and this is something that most founders or some of my even friends are making mistake to me, according to, is I came from like Apple as a product engineer. Having that product quality is actually bothers me. If I don't put together something that customer love, it actually bothers me. But even like me coming from that, sort of standard, in a startup, that does not apply sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I need to test, right? I need to do MVP. I need to get the feedback from the customer right away. And if my refining takes 2 months, I should first build an MVP, ask the questions, then refine later. There's always time to refine the product. Yeah. And sometimes when you speak to these customers, they'll actually tell more than what you know. Mm-hmm. And at Veel, one of the campaign we do has to do with beauty niche, marketing folks finding skin-based content creator. What does that mean is your beauty product, the skin toning has to match absolutely solid. So that way you're going to right content creators. But I didn't know that. That's like hyper niche specific use case, right? Yeah. I figured that out when I speak to the customers, and then I came back, then we changed the priority, we actually built that tool. So now we have so many other hyper niche features within the ecosystems, but none of these things were existence at the beginning when I was even like ideating.
But I think that goes back to what you were saying, BD, about the stickiness. If you have that much empathy for what your market is struggling with, and you see it and you put your finger on it, it will naturally be a sticky product. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so we're getting short on time. I want to ask you, BD, what's next for you? I mean, you're creating so many different things. We talked a little bit about the education, but if you want to double click on that, I got to ask, what you're working on next.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we're working on all fronts. Like I said, we continue to grow Bluestone as a fractional family offices, and slowly onboarding families that kind of fit the theme and they buy into what we're after. In the engineering wealth, which is the whole education thing for engineers, they're making a lot of money, but they're not really building wealth. So there's a whole education program that we're launching there for engineered wealth. And then lastly, for the teaching the youth. I actually donate 25% of my time into teaching the youth, where I actually teach classes myself. I've been asked to continue to grow the financial literacy program, not just for the kids that actually can afford it, but also for the parents that can't put their kids there. We had actually some colleagues that took the program to India. They taught 200 kids in India last year. We've been actually getting requests right now to translate it to French and launch it in Haiti, which is one of the poorest countries in the world. So figuring out how to actually help and impact other kids. Because I think if you teach these things to kids early on, it could have a major impact in their life as they go about.
Well, we want to definitely bring that program to Oakland, so we're going to have a follow-up conversation. Brian,
I'm just personally want to just reiterate how important I think that work is, and how missing that is in the marketplace for young people, and what a huge impact that will have on their lives. Yeah. Right? I mean, it's not just a matter of whatever earning a wage and a paycheck. It's a matter of knowing what to do with that money in order to build a future for yourself and for your family and for your legacy.
Yeah. So where can people go to learn a little bit more about what you're building there?
Sure. I would say typically we're posting a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. Follow my LinkedIn, B Dweik. We're constantly putting, but the educational program is called Gurus Education. Gurus, as in like the guru. Yeah. And then engineered wealth actually will be launched soon, so more stuff will come in on my LinkedIn.
Okay. I love the engineering wealth idea, to be honest. I was there, and I even learned in some ways how to organize the finance and all, so that way I was able to bootstrap in some capacity, right? Yeah. I think that's really crucial for every engineer out there.
Absolutely. Just like if you want to build a bridge, you need the cement, you need the stone, you need to start putting the architecture. So when you're building wealth, you really need all these things. So you have to understand each one of them. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you have to kind of architect what the plan needs to look like. So you have to know where you're going in order to kind of build a plan that's it for you. And unfortunately, financial advisors and everything else, are typically using a cookie cutter approach. And for somebody that worked in tech, that walked the path that I did, not just in startup, but also in publicly traded companies where you got RSUs that are highly appreciated. There's just so much to learn that is not being taught. Yeah. And I think that's really what we did engineered wealth, to really help these engineers build the wealth, not just to have a high income.
Yeah, so if you're an engineer and you're out there thinking about building, this insight on engineering the wealth side of it, I think is huge. So you definitely want to connect with BD. Last question for both you guys. How can people connect with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn, Dileep Dhakal, Dileep Dhakal, and I'm active on Instagram as well. And Veel, wherever I'm traveling to most of the Veel's offices. So anywhere, if you're around the town of the particular, physical offices, my offices.
I love it. All right, and look for Veel app. They can find it on Apple or online.
They can find for the B2B customers, veelapp.com. B2C content creators, our app is available on Android and iOS both.
Yeah, I love it. All right, VD, same question. How can people connect with you and learn more?
Yeah, I would say LinkedIn. We're quite busy on LinkedIn. B Dweik on LinkedIn, or if they research Bluestone Flagship investors, there's just enough content that actually get them there. The mailbox does get filled pretty fast, so we've been doing a lot of sorting. We're actually trying to invest some tools to help us with LinkedIn emails because it's coming in real fast.
All right. Well, Dileep, I want to thank you for bringing in the swag bags. We got a bunch of stuff in here. Let's take a. Hold on, Brian. Zoom in on me. Yeah.
All right.
I definitely want to show you. You got me a cool little coffee cup. Love it, Veel. Appreciate that. I'm a sucker for swag. If you guys haven't realized it, oh yeah. Here's where I can write my insights.
Hold it up for the camera, please.
Yeah, it's got a little etching. It looks like is that the downtown? It looks like
So we have a downtown San Francisco office, and there is another office in Kathmandu, Nepal.
Okay.
So we have the kind of sketches of both offices.
Those
there.
are sketches at the bottom there.
Yep.
All right. You got a bag within a bag. I love it. And it looks like there's a pin in there. All right. So my audience all knows that I'm a sucker for swag. So you'll see me sporting this stuff. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And Siyesh, good to see you back there, man. Thanks for coming. Those of you on YouTube can see him sitting back there, but definitely connect with you, both of you. Brian.
Yes, I'm here.
Great show. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed. We're done then. That's a
We're
wrap.
done. That's a
All
wrap.
right,
Great
cool.
show. Thanks, guys, for coming in. You're amazing. Definitely want to have you back. For the rest of you listening out there, keep coming back.
Don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel and favorite us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys both for coming in today. Great show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.